So Buddha is a small part of his work. I want you to understand. Gautama himself didn't go simply sit in the forest. The 8 years of his sadhana, he spent with various teachers across the country. And the whole spine of this spiritual process, this knowledge, has essentially come from Shiva.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dhamma Preserve. Today we're burning a myth so persistent that even people trying to expose modern gurus end up repeating it. The claim that the Bodhisattva Gautama learned from anyone, not Shiva, not Āḷāra Kālāma, not Uddaka Rāmaputta, not any master, just a lone wanderer running from his father, seeking enlightenment in total isolation. Let me prove it. Here's the truth about his father. The king didn't know where the Bodhisattva was. He was gone, vanished into the forest. But if the king knew where he was, the king would come to get him. That's why the Bodhisattva kept moving, never stayed in one place too long. He knew his father would send search parties, messengers, maybe even soldiers. So he walked and walked. He wasn't seeking teachers. He wasn't enrolling in a school. He wanted to go far away from his home country. His mission was simple: reach enlightenment alone. No guru, no lineage, no Shiva method, just a homeless young man running from his father's reach. If you listen to this guy who declares enlightenment but provides zero sources or any reference at all, let's dive in, Mr. Sadhguru.
Wherever it is, whichever part of the world it is, the basic spiritual process comes from this spine, and it's been taken to different parts of the world in so many different forms. They look so different because these 112 different ways look absolutely different from one another. So what is the difference between Shiva and Buddha is not an appropriate question. Which aspect of Shiva did Buddha explore? He explored the path of awareness, which is one aspect.
Yeah, give me a frickin' break, Mr. Enlightened Fraudster. Here's something else they don't tell you. During the Buddha's time, there were countless people declaring themselves enlightened. I'm a Buddha, I'm awakened, follow me. Sound familiar? Same as today. But they were not real Buddhas, they were pretenders, egos wrapped in robes. So people were waiting, watching, hoping for the real one to arise. Then came Bodhisattva Gautama, but even he didn't announce himself, he just left, walked, searched, failed, tried again. For years, no certificate, no title, no school of Shiva stamp, just raw, lonely effort. So he runs away from home, wife and child asleep, palace behind him, gone. He walks into the forest, he's lost, actually lost. No map, no destination. Then Āḷāra Kālāma finds him, not the other way around. The sage sees a tired, hungry young wanderer. He doesn't ask for credentials, he doesn't test him, he just offers basic human kindness. Rest here, eat, sleep, that's it. That's the first teacher. The Bodhisattva didn't seek him, didn't apply for admission, didn't ask for spiritual guidance. A forest sage found a homeless boy and gave him a place to rest for the night. Now watch this carefully. When the Bodhisattva arrived at Āḻāra's community, it functioned like a wilderness rest stop for spiritual seekers. The method was just the check-in process. Āḻāra basically said, this is how we do things here. This is our doctrine. This is our practice. Like a hotel front desk saying, breakfast is 7 to 9 a.m. Pool is on the 3rd floor. The Bodhisattva listened. Then he thought, let me test this myself. He withdrew to a quiet spot, alone, and within hours, not years, he reached the exact mental state they were describing. Why? Because he wasn't learning. He was verifying, like tasting food someone described. Either it's sweet or it's not. Now let me clarify something important. Āḷāra Kālāma was a rishi, a forest sage. Rishis are not Hindus, not in the modern sense. They were ancient hermits who lived outside cities, outside royal courts, outside organized religion. Many of them rejected rituals, rejected gods, rejected blind faith. And Brahmins were different. They were priests in royal palaces. They performed ceremonies. They advised kings. The person who later merged these Brahmin priests into what we now call Hinduism was Adi Shankara, who lived about 1200 years after the Buddha. So when Sadhguru says Buddha learned from Hindu rishis, that's impossible. Hinduism didn't exist yet, and rishis weren't Hindus anyway. We'll talk more about Adi Shankara in another video. But for now, remember, Rishi's forest sage, not Hindu, Brahmin palace priest, not Hindu yet. Hinduism came 1,200 years later. Now what did Āḷāra actually learn? He practiced the seventh jhana, the third immaterial absorption. In Pali it's called akinkinyayatana, the base of nothingness, a very high mental state, but still temporary, still conditioned, still not liberation. The Bodhisattva listened to Āḷāra describe it. Then he withdrew to a quiet spot, alone, and within hours, not years, he reached that same state. Why? Because he wasn't learning. He was verifying, like tasting food someone described. Either it's sweet, or it's not. Āḷāra was shocked, so shocked that he pulled the Bodhisattva aside, behind his own students' backs, and said, "You have reached what I reached. Don't leave. Stay. Let us lead this community together, as equals." Think about that, a master offering a homeless newcomer co-leadership, secretly because he knew his students would be embarrassed. The Bodhisattva said no. Then he left, because the base of nothingness is still something, still suffering, still ends. Same story. He keeps walking. Then Uddaka Rāmaputta finds him. Now here's a key detail. Rāmaputta means son of Rama, the father. Rama was the real master. He had achieved the eighth jhana, the fourth immaterial absorption. In Pali, nivasanyana sanyana, the base of neither perception nor non-perception. But Rama had already passed away. The son, Uddaka, was teaching his father's method. But here's the embarrassing part. Uddaka hadn't actually reached it himself. He was just repeating what his father had taught him, like a son running his dead father's business, but never learning the craft. The Bodhisattva arrives. Uddaka offers him rest, describes the method. The Bodhisattva tests it alone, and within hours, he actually realizes the eighth jhana. He achieved what Uddaka's father achieved, something Uddaka himself could not do. Uddaka was humiliated but also amazed. He exalted the Bodhisattva above himself and offered him full leadership of the entire community. Again, the Bodhisattva said no. Then he left. Because even the eighth jhana, the highest immaterial state, is still temporary, still conditioned, still not nibbana. Open the Arya Pariyasana Sutta. Read it yourself. The words used are met, visited, rested, tested, left, never learned, never student, never master, never teacher. That language was added later by people who wanted Buddha to fit their culture. But the original text is clear. He was a guest, not a disciple. He didn't even find them. They found him, and he surpassed both of them in hours, not because he was their student, but because he was verifying their claims like a scientist testing a hypothesis. Now Sadhguru takes this hotel myth and stretches it into a ghost story. He says Buddha learned Shiva methods. Buddha was a student of Shiva school. Let me ask you, if being found by a forest sage and offered a bed counts as learning, then every motel clerk in India is a spiritual master. If testing someone's method for one night and then leaving counts as being a student, then every traveler who sleeps at a Holiday Inn is a disciple of the front desk. It's absurd. There is zero source in the Pali Canon for Shiva, zero in the 1110 Dhamma books, zero in the Atthakatha. The Bodhisattva didn't learn from Shiva. He didn't learn from Āḷāra. He didn't learn from Uddaka. He awakened alone, under a tree. No teacher, no school, no lineage. Here's the truth. The Buddha was self-awakened. No human gave him enlightenment. No God, no Shiva, no ancient school. He ran away from home, got lost. 2 forest sages found him and offered rest. He tested their claims in one night each. He surpassed both. Then he left. That's not a student. That's a traveler who accepted a free bed and tested the house rules. Next time someone says Buddha learned from X, ask them, which sutta says learned? Which page says teacher? Did the Bodhisattva even seek them out, or did they find him? And what jhana did they teach? The 7th or 8th? They will freeze, because the answers don't exist. Drop your thoughts below. Have you heard the 2 teachers story told as formal education? Did you believe it? I used to, not anymore. Smash like if you want clean Dhamma. No hotel myths, no Shiva lies, no fake history. Subscribe for more no BS breakdowns. See you next time.